Hello and welcome to watching the first episode of Ace Attorney Investigation Collection, and it finally came out. Oh my gosh, I have been dreading this day and it finally came, and I'm so excited to play this. And sadly enough, while recording this, I cannot hear the music, so you guys will be enjoying the music, and while I'm editing I will be enjoying this as well. Later on I'll just rewatch it in a sense as well. And yeah. And I'm also dressed as Emma Skye for this version of the storyline that she is in from Miles Edgeworth. So I was like, yeah, I must have her outfit. It looks so cute. So now I'm dressed as Emma Skye and I love her as well. So I am going to be the forensic person for this show. And I really love this game. And I actually have the whole collection, but now this one I want to try to record. Anyway, we're going to do, I guess, title selection. This is new for me, so I just opened the game. And apparently, oh my god! They got the collection complete. Oh my god, it looks so pretty. Wow, the transition is so nice. Anyway, we're gonna go to the first one. Miles Edgeworth Investigations! Ooh! Wait, I can choose? Oh my god, I can go classic. I actually played this game on the DS from a friend, and I only got to case 4 because I thought there were only 4 cases, but there were 5. And there's the gambit, so I didn't know that. So I'm guessing I'm going for the new one. Why not? You know, get everything HD, get everything good. What is this? Start from episode 1, of course. Turnabout visitor. March 14, 1:16 a.m. Oh. To make sure the defendant is found guilty. What other choice do I have? That's the job of a prosecutor, after all. That may be true, but why? Why go this far? Sorry, maybe I wasn't clear enough. But a guilty verdict is all that matters to me. No matter what the cost. Oh. Oh no! And we know who the murderer is? I'm a parody among prosecutors. A prodigy. Oops. Always have been, always will be. Sorry for making also mistakes in wording, you know, I'll be reading this and everything, but excuses for situations. I'm partly dyslexic. That's what I say to everyone. March 14, 2:05 a.m. Prosecutors Building, 12th Floor at Holloway. It's Edgy! Edgeworth! It's hard to believe that I've been away from my office for a whole month. I hope Detective Gumshoe has been keeping an eye on my office and keeping it clean. Get that dust. The door is unlocked. Detective Gumshoe? What's this smell? It's very familiar. Blood. Oh, he returned with a messy room. What the? What's the meaning of this? Freeze. Identify yourself. Shut up. You got some nerve committing murder in a prosecutor's office. Phew. Is that a threat? Let me make one thing very clear. What? No one gets away with committing murder in my office. No one. Person walks away slowly. You will be back. My name is Miles Edgeworth. I worked as a prosecutor in my local district. Little did I know that upon my return home after a month abroad. Wow! I would be entrusted. My god, I can't read. I would be trusted into a multitude of cases, and some very frantic and busy days. And some very random. I read that right. I know that for sure. Okay. Well, I really love the new graphics and the way everything looks. It's perfect. I love it so much. March 14. Oh my god, it's been almost an hour. 2:56 a.m. High Prosecutor Office, room 1202. I finished photographing the victim's body, sir. He doesn't look like he did, but okay. Very well. Please continue with your investigation. Yes, sir! Mr. Edward, sir, are you okay, sir? Keep it down, detective. This is a crime scene. When I heard that the murder had taken place in the office, I ran here straight away. This is Dick Cumshoe. He is a detective with the local percent. And the one day assigned to handle this murder case for the time being. He's always handling murder cases. You're looking a little pale, sir. Are you hurt? No, I'm perfectly fine. However... No! Look what they did to your office! It's totally trashed! I'll say, the culprit sullied my floor with dirt rather well. No one gets away with tracking mud into my office. Whoa, sounds like you're getting really burned up over this whole thing. This crime was committed in my office, so it's my responsibility to solve it. Oh, that's just like you, Mr. Edgeworth. Okay, time to do some investigation. Man, he is so screaming. It's so funny. Wait, R? I see something with that. Oh, that's the evidence. Oh, that's cool. Wow, we already know him. The victim in the case. Why was he killed in my office? Well, we know. Okay, cool. Agreed. Our first course of action is to gather relevant facts and leads, as always. Must not overlook anything, no matter how small we are, to find the truth, of course. Every nook and cranny. So I'll keep any leads or information we attach in the forefront of my mind. Speaking of things that piqued my curiosity, why of all places the murder occur in my office? Exactly. Why? Is it really coincidence that the murder took place in my office? So that's like the logic system? Yes! I get the nagging feeling that this is something important to keep in mind. Yeah, I was wondering that myself, sir. I mean, you can't really say it's just a coincidence, can you? No, not really, especially because of this. Key! The key to your office. For security reason, this office door has locked built to it. Yeah, because like, yeah, important. What do you mean, sir? If you think about it carefully and use logic, it should become clear to you. Logic? He's gonna explain it, I believe. By finding a connection between the two pieces of information and connecting them, new information is born. This is the end result of using logic. So how do you use it? No, we're not gonna use it. Okay. I'm gonna read it. First of all, recall the information we gathered with L and connect them in the X, and then I'll do that as well. I know how to do that. Okay, yeah, I will. I'll listen to you. Ooh. Okay, wow. Okay, why is the connection in the office? Okay. Crime scene in my office, the key, and then we connect. For security reasons, all prosecutors' doors are outfitted with locks, of course. Which means it would have been hard for the murderer and the victim to get in here. Ergo, it's impossible to dismiss the location of this crime as a mere coincidence. Yes, that's exactly what I was thinking, sir. There must be a reason why someone infiltrated in my room. What was the killer after? Why did this happen in the office? What was the killer after? Well, I think it has to do with evidence, of course. You're really on the ball today, Mr. Edward. That's some beautiful logic, sir. Yes, well, when you follow leads to their conclusion, only the truth remains. However, if if the information doesn't line up properly, I may stray far from the truth as well. Yeah, that's true. I'm gonna die! But if I think carefully before piecing leads together, the logic should flow. Yes, I must use my big brain in order to solve this. We can't just make guesses, like wild guesses. Well, let's get started with our investigation, shall we? Yes, sir! Investigation begins! Okay, the basis of any good investigation is to examine everything, sir. Okay. Whoa! Speed! Oh my god, this is... Why is he following me like that? It was weird. Okay, well... Look at that. What do we have here? Could be... This has been a motor weapon. If so, it would mean that the killer made their escape after disposing the gun here. I think I've seen this one before. These before. Care to enlighten me? Where? Oh, I know! I was issued the exact same model, I think. Ah, detective. I don't really like guns all that much. I mean, they're really dangerous. But now that I think about it, you do see this model around the present a lot, sir. I don't use mine much except in emergencies, so that's why I didn't recognize it. So it's the same type of revolver as the ones used in this person's detectives. Yeah, so detectives use this found in the crime scene model. Do you? Yep. Okay. Let's go to the victim. Well, let's check this chessboard. It's like when they knocked over the chess. I play few games. I had no idea where you're interested in chess. I'm actually pretty good at checkers. So I thought I'd give it a try. Well, in that case, I suppose I can get some time aside to solve this case. Though I don't expect the game to tax my mental acuity. Checkers and chess are totally different. Okay, we finished photographing the body, so it should be alright to examine this area. I won't rest until I inspect any specific looking cranny. So he's gonna always say that. Well, let's check his wallet first. What do we have here? I think I've seen this one before. Of these before. It's a police badge, detective. Oh, hey, I have the exact same thing actually. What a coin. What did he just say? Coinkadink. What the coinkadink? It's like a coincidence. Let's take a look inside. Mr. Buddy Fate. It would appear that our victim was a detective, just like you. I seem to have gathered a new piece of printed information. Now to calmly use logic and figure out if any of them connect to each other. Well, why would I want to do that? I don't think there was anything to connect this yet. Like killer's goal, revolver, the victim was a detective. Should I do anything? I can connect maybe the revolver and the victim was a detective, saying that maybe it was his revolver. Yeah. Revolver, the standard model used for detectives. Could it have been belonged to our recently departed? Detective Gumshoe, could you please thoroughly check the victim's body one more time? Yes, sir. On it now, sir. Excuse me, pal. Let's see what we have got here. Oh, he has no revolver. Gun holster. It appears that our killer somehow managed to take the victim's gun from him. Okay, that's good to know. Are you going to be okay with keeping track of the evidence we find, sir? Of course. This is the safest way I know how to keep track of it all. Alright, if you say so. He's gonna explain about the art, right? Yeah, the logic, have it organized. Re-examine pieces. Art, like art for organize. Yes, we know that. I wish I can skip this. Okay, as always. Oh, wait. Like, we're gonna check the revolver now. As I always say, you gotta look really carefully at each piece of evidence. You can use R to rotate. There is no such thing as a bad angle. Okay, and then zoom in and out. Let's check. Well, this is a horse, I see. Well, let's check the horse. Probably, like, that's something. Oh, that does not. Okay, never mind. Oh! It looks like one round was fired from this. Wow, so the killer killed the Vic with just one shot after wrestling the gun from him? Sounds like the guy knew how to handle a gun, huh, Mr. Edgeworth? We have no proof for now, but this is a distinct possibility. Oh, okay, well, let's continue. Let's give the body a once over. There is blood all over his lower abdominal area. It looks like the bullet passed clean through his stomach area, sir. In other words, he was shot. Of course, he was shot. Yep, and until the autopsy is done, I think we'll know much more than that. Please have the body sent to the morgue. Done processing the crime scene. Okay, well, he is done, and... do I need to press... Oh, that's where to check. Never mind. Okay. I don't believe it! I packed those files on the shelf so tight. Did I say it right? Yeah, I did. Okay, that's not even an earthquake. Oh, not... That not even an earthquake could make them fall off, but just look at them. At this rate, the rest of the files won't be able to withstand the earthquake at all. Problem to be sure. Whoa. Well, once the investigation is over, we'll put them back on the shelf. Okay. Well, these? Your files are all over the floor, sir. They probably fell during the struggle between the victim and the killer. And his killer, yes. I tried so hard to keep this place spotless while you were away. I mean, this is just rendered all the time, and effort I put is pointless. I don't recall ever asking you to clean my room. Wait, but he did say he want that... Edgeworth did say that he wants his room clean and everything that Edgeworth said to Gumshoe that he had to keep that tidy. Oh well. Well, I water the flowers every day, just like you requested, sir. Only that? I just added cleaning to the list as a weekend special. Wow. For about half a day every Saturday, I come in this and clean this place until it sparkled. Does he get paid for this? Does he have it? Does he have a life? Damn. I guess this is all we are going to find out. We should send the body out. Topsy. Jim! Oh, he was like, Jim! Why? Oh, why? How could this have happened to a guy like you? You did it. No, bro. Are you alright? Don't touch me! Leave me alone! Just let me be. Sorry, but I can't do that. The investigation is still going on, so please refrain from touching the body. The body? The body? Don't you talk of him like that, just like some lump of flesh. I mean, you killed him, so like, why? I mean, good acting, I guess. Look at him. Jim looks like he's just turned in for a night. But is his name Jim? Like, really? Buddy Fate. I think he just calls him Jim. Sure. Just in the blood-stained suit pile. Where are my manners? Aren't you that prosecutor? Why, yes I am. I am I can't say his name. Portsman prosecutor. Jim here was my partner in crime busting. I'm Miles Edgeworth, and I like you? Whoa, really? That was quick introduction of like liking him and he's not knowing that he's a murderer, but okay. I was like, I'm Miles Edgeworth, and oh wait, I read it wrong. I'm so stupid. Okay. I'm Miles Edgeworth, and like you, I'm also a prosecutor. Detective Detective Dick Gumshoe here, sir. Oh gosh, blah, blah, blah. I can't read anymore. My eyesight is just despairing. So, you're Miles Edgeworth. I guess this is your office. Yes, that is correct. Then it was you! You're the one who killed Jim! Hey, don't go around jumping to conclusions, pal. Just calm down, okay? I will not. I know how things work around here. High prosecutor's office doors all have locks built into them. And only the owner of the office has the key to his or her own office door. That is correct. However, I was not the one who killed your partner. Yeah, Mr. Edgeworth has been overseas on business trip this whole time, pal. And the key to the door was with me the entire time, okay? So the only one who could have get in here was me! Ho ho ho, and then he's gonna accuse him. Wait, that means... I'm not sure what that means. So it was you then! You're James Killer! Jim's Killer. No way, pal, you got the all wrong! Everyone calm down! Mr. Portsman, correct? If you are a real prosecutor, you should know to stay collected. The investigation has only just begun. Isn't it too early to be drawing conclusions? Alright, I get the point. You're right, my mistake. I tend to get a little too hot-headed sometimes. You sure are one cool customer though, Mr. Edgeworth. I've heard all the rumors about you. You're the great genius prosecutor. You're something of a legend, you know? Anyway, let's call a truce and work together, okay? Now, how about a handshake to seal the deal? A pleasure to work with you. You guys were conducting your investigation, right? Sorry for barging in like that. Carry on then. It's your room after all. Thank you, I intend to. I just want a little more time to say goodbye to Jim. You there! Sir! Oh my god, Armstrong. I want you to capture this scene on a film for me. What? My final farewell to my partner Jim. Oh wow, really? It's like so egotistic. I should probably give them some space. Okay, well, since he's gone, I can then check here then. I hope we can solve this case quickly. I'd like to return to relaxing on the sofa. Wait, I did not click the sofa. That brings to a billion times softer than a mattress at home. Can I sit on it too? Just for a little while, sir? Detective Gumshoe. You know I can't allow that. Until this case is solved, neither of us has time to spare, let alone rest. You're right, sir. I'm gonna work hard and be real trooper at the end. I mean, they're working overtime now. Even once this case is over, I don't think he can afford to take any time off. Wow. Okay, there we go. Ah, your jacket, sir! What's doing it on the floor? It must have fallen off the wall when the killer tried threatening me by firing a round. So the killer not only shot the victim, but they shot your jacket as well? They dared to shoot the ultra special jacket that you made your prosecutorial debut in. What if they had shot through it? It would have been a disaster! It's not worth getting worked up over, detective. Not when there's something more here. Huh? Like what? I take it you haven't noticed it yet, detective. There is a giant contradiction right here in front of us. Really? Yes, there is. Did I say contradiction? He must be rubbing off of me. I'm starting to sound like him. Well, we all know who that is. It's Phoenix! But I have my own methods, and I will conduct this investigation my way. When the scene before me contradicts a piece of evidence or seems off, that's when my deductive skills come into play. Your logic. Okay, well, first I have to find a spot that holds the contradiction. Okay, well, literally there. There it is. The bullet hole is where the contradiction lies. When I spot something that's off, I should point my cruiser at it and press X with conviction. Really? Are you gonna say it with conviction? The deuce! And when I have found sufficient proof to prove the contradiction, I present it! This is how I do things. Okay, well, this is the thing because it says that it only had fired once, and that's not true. So we present it. Eureka! This bullet hole is a contradiction. What do you mean, sir? It's elementary. 2 shots were fired in this room. The first felled the victim. The first felled the victim. And the second felled this frame. Hey, that's right. However, the gun was only fired once. Hey, that's true too. Which means that one of these bullets were fired from a different gun. Did the killer have another gun prepared for tonight? Probably. And maybe he just had one, I believe. Could there be a gun in play here? Another gun. Maybe it was an evidence gun. Probably, I don't know. By the way, I noticed something, sir. Yes? What's that sticking out from behind the frame? Ah, that. It's a secret safe. A secret safe? Oh, I smell money. I'll spare you the trouble and just say it. It's nothing like what you're imagining inside. It's inside. Now, if you could kindly move this frame out of the way. Roger that. Oh, he's sneezing. Talk about dusty. I suppose that's what happened when I'm not here to dust it once in a while. I had no idea there was a safe here, or I'd have kept it clean for you, sir. So when did you put this thing in? It wasn't something I installed personally. Every prosecutor office has one. Really? I had no idea. Well, only prosecutors are supposed to have knowledge of their existence. So what's inside, Mr. Edgeworth? Right now, nothing. We only use them to store especially important evidence when a trial is in session. That's it? Talk about squashing my hopes and dreams. Okay, so prosecutors know them only trial evidence use. So it's not really that important, and they should know that too. Okay. I won't rest until I inspect every suspicious looking at Granny. Okay, let's see. I can see he wiped off over here. Now this is odd. You found something, sir? This keypad. Don't you find it a bit too clean? Yeah, that thick layer of dust all around it, but not by the keypad itself. You there, the forensic scientist. Yes, sir. Could you please dust this area for fingerprints? You got it, sir. I couldn't find, let alone lift, a single print. Looks like it's wiped down well. I was wondering if there is like a settings like to press something. Hold on, I'm gonna trust something. As I thought. Okay, hold on. Ah, it's working. Autoplay is on. Oh no, autoplay is on. How did I? Okay, I need to figure out. I think I pressed button. Oh, I can see it. It changes color. So when it's orange, it's gonna be autoplay, and when it's not, okay. Well, let me read what he said. It appears that logic is the only way around the setback. Time to rationally, calmly play connections with dots and information we have. Okay, let's do some logic. Wrong button. Logic. Okay. Killer's goal. Sign of a struggle. So let's say Killer's goal was to go inside here. I believe I figure out on what the murder was after. Well, what is it, sir? The fact the safe was wiped clean of fingerprints suggests that the criminal had at least attempted to open the safe, making the culprit motive for breaking and entering theft, I believe. Okay, that's new logic. I wonder if knowing that motive behind this breakfast was theft changes what the other piece of information can tell. Okay. Okay, let's see. Sign of a struggle, motive of theft. Let's see if they say like he got caught. Oh, will that drain me as well? Try and see if this is correct. Yay, it's correct. There's a possibility that the files splayed on the floor are not a result of struggling between the victim and his killer. Oh, you mean it could be from when the killer tried to find something, sir? Precisely. We need to figure out if any of the files have been stolen. Yes, sir. I'm gonna shell files like you've never seen before, even at a library. Sure. Let's give that a try. What do all the good ones always... Oh wait, why do all the good ones always die young? Surely you must ponder that every once in a while, Mr. Edgeworth. No matter how much we lament, the dead will not come back to life. All we can do is search for the truth. And so what are we supposed to do? How do we go about finding the truth? Evidence and knowledge. First, we calmly restore the files to their rightful place. You got it. Let me help. Here, let me help. Up. So this file goes here, and that book goes there. You sure know a lot about where things go, despite it being Mr. Edgeworth's office. Because I'm the one who keeps it tidy, pal. Okay, done. So it appears that the murder was definitely committed here. Oh, okay, well, we can already see that there is, like, already some things that are wrong. Because the shot of, like, the books aren't right. Does Detective Gumshoe really know, like, how it actually plays? Because, like, the zero is at the bottom. But, yeah, we already know something is wrong. The bloodstains of the bookshelf, they're still fresh. I suspect that the victim was killed in a standing position, hence the prints on the shelf. And then the guy fell over to the floor, right? The blood on the floor is kind of grossing me out. Detective, I don't have time to deal with your weak stomach right now. But you know I'm not good with blood, sir. I'm certain there's something wrong with this picture. Yeah, we're gonna go straight away to it. Right here. So this is where the bullet lodged itself after it went through the victim. For the bullet to be lodged so squarely in the file spine indicates that the file was ransacked after shooting had occurred. Then I guess the victim was moved because he was in the killer's way. Okay. Yeah, you can see his hands are also at the bottom, so they actually fell down straight. The victim's handprints. They must have tried to support himself with his hands here after being shot. There's prints on the floors too. Those must have been when he's unable to stand and he dropped to the floor. Okay. Oh, here's the books that they also... Put them all back, just as you should be, sir. Doesn't look like anything's missing. Although it does look like the killer moved the body to flip through my shelves. I wonder if they found what they were looking for. I mean, wait. A, B, C, D, E, F. Wait, they have like A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, and then A, B, C. Okay, well... I think F is missing. The killer moved the body because it's leaning against the bookshelf. The blood on the guy's hands, of course, that proves that pretty well. Incense, I suppose. See, I'm not completely useless, Mr. Edgeworth. Okay, what am I missing here? Oh, deduce. Okay, well, I can deduce something already, and we already know that this is... Yep. This spot somehow connected to any of the evidence I hold. Yeah, what do we do? Do we have that? Victim's abdomen, like it's too high. So we present that. Eureka! This is clear condition that this bullet hole... What do you mean, sir? You don't see? Quite simple, the bullet hole itself is too low. The victim was shot in the stomach. The hole should be much higher up. But what if the guy was shot while he was sitting or lying down? That would be illogical. The victim leaned against the bookshelves here after being shot, which suggests that he was standing when he was shot. And that means... Wait, what does that mean, sir? It means you need to use your brain every once in a while instead of mine, detective. In any case, it means someone made a faulty assumption. And it was from this mistake that our current contradiction was born. What was the faulty assumption that caused the problem with the bullet hole's position? The position of the body, the position of the handprints, the order of the file. No, it's the position of the body. If the victim was shot while he was lying down... Wait, didn't you just say that the line of reasoning is illogical, sir? You said the victim leaned against the shelf here after being shot. I was trying to be nice and explain my complex logic in an easier way for you, detective. Oh, really? Thank you for thinking of me, sir. God, I think he noticed my mistake. Wait, really? Did he actually just like get us inside? The victim was shot while lying down. I mean, was that a mistake? Because he said if the victim was shot lying down. It was like just thinking like, then it would explain that it was there, but the handprints are illogical about that. So, what is faulty assumption? Wait, did I go back? Oh no, I made a mistake! I didn't even realize! Okay, what is this problem with the bullet hole position? The order of the files... Please, it has to be something with the position. No, it's the order of the files. I believe the order of the files is a bit off. You mean I put them back in the wrong order just now? Hey, actually, I think the labels on these files are wrong. Oh? Yeah, you see here how the files that were shot with the number O? But the number 0 actually. Oopsie. What are those things doing all the way down there after 1, 2, and 3? That's really weird. Actually, the way they're organized now is the correct order. They are exactly as I see them in my mind's eye. But the numbers are all out of order. Those wide binders are special, so they are arranged a little differently. But from this, we know that the files were not in the order when the crime occurred. Oh, so probably the guy, or like he moved the bookshelves and he placed them back, but then they got shot, and then he kind of made a mess, and then the correct order was then rearranged again, I guess, or something like that. That's what I mean. So that's it. I believe the killer made the same incorrect assumption as you did, detective. Let's rearrange the files in numerical order and see what we find. Wait, no, that's stupid. Like, why? How did they make that same mistake as well? Because literally, that's 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. You know, like, bruh. Do you think it could be okay to prop the body back up how it was before it was moved? They finished processing the crime scene, so I don't think why it wouldn't be. If you please, Detective Gumshoe. As I expected, the bullet hole is now where it should logically be. Oh, and then the book's over there. Oh, okay, well, that makes sense now, but in a way it doesn't make sense of the book replacement, so probably those binders, what he said is like at the bottom that he said he placed, because now we know which one is missing. So the killer went through my files before shooting my Mr. Fate, and then put the files back in numerical order, I guess. Exactly, and then proceed to shoot the victim. So technically he moved the books. Yeah, like I said, he moved the books before he was shot. But why would some killer why would someone kill a man and then look through your files one more time? Puzzling indeed. The files were thrown into disarray twice. Once before and once after the crime scene. But why? Yes, now it makes sense. I remember doing this and I'm still confused to this day. Now the crime scene is as it was at the time of the murder. Time to give another look. Okay, well, this is new. This... What is that? Why does it say Gumshoe on the on there in blood? I'd say that's some incredibly incriminating evidence. Yes, in the How do you say it? In detail? Yeah, I can't say it. Of criminal activity indeed. But why is it upside down? Like, he can do it upside down. No, wait. There's gotta be some mistake. Mr. Edward, sir, help me. Say something, sir. It appears that one of my files was stolen. Is that all, sir? What about me and my situation? Is this what the killer was really after? Stolen file data jotted down in my organizer. Investigation completed! Yay! Looks like Jim was able to leave us the name of the killer in the end. And this most important message managed to reach us. I'm telling you, it wasn't me! You can't be terrible, pleased to hear that your beloved partner is the guilty party. If you're going to accuse Detective Gumshoe of being the culprit, I sincerely hope you have some proof to back it up. Jim's words, they're more than enough, wouldn't you say? If that's how you want to play it, then at least allow me to understand your reasoning. You got it. I don't like this one bit. There's something strange about this man's attitude. And there must be some sort of flaw to his logic waiting for me to dig out. Mr. Edward, what are you going to do? What I always do in court, I'm going to cross-examine him. One way or another, I'll expose a flaw in his logic with this technique. Ooh, how do you do that? Can you explain it to me, sir? No. We all know how to work it out. Mr. Postman, are you ready? Aw, if you don't have time, you could have just said so, sir. Mr. Portsman's logic. Detective Gumshoe just stole Jim's gun from him and shot him dead. Furthermore, you messed up the files to make it look like you had committed theft instead. That's why you moved Jim's body that was sitting in front of the bookshelf. But thanks to that, you didn't notice the bloody letters his body was hiding. And it will be by his final words that you will be brought to justice. Okay. You intend to argue the victim's dying message points to his killer. I can hear Jim's voice and he's calling for his killer's arrest. Are you sure you're not mishearing his words, Mr. Portsman? There is no way Detective Gumshoe is the culprit here. I will find this flaw in this man's logic and expose it with incredible evidence. Okay, so I think I'm just gonna do hold all of them, talk to all of them, press, because sometimes if you press, something else happens. So I'm doing that.
Hold it!
You know, there's something I've been meaning to ask. What is it? Why do you call the victim Jim, when clearly his name is Buddy Fate? Isn't it obvious? Jim is a perfect name for my companion. Jacques and Jim. Doesn't those two go together like peanut butter and jelly? I don't know how to say his name. Is it Jacques or something like that? Probably. But Jim isn't even close to the guy's real name. Well, Jacques and Buddy just sounds off somehow. Besides, he was the third of a bunch of guys I decided to nickname Jim. He talks about the victim like he was his pet. Furthermore, the message you have committed, mess up the files. Okay, but it's reorganized twice. Do you really think it was necessarily to dishevel my shelves twice to do that? That's true. Okay, then maybe his real intent was theft. Hey, are you accusing me of stealing something from Mr. Edgeworth? It's a possibility. Maybe your salary has been cut so much that life is getting a little too rough to handle. I'll have you know I've eat 3 square meals every day, pal. Okay, so all 3 of them happen to be instant noodles, but poor thing. What an evil prosecutor you were paired up with. And what a motive, no? It's when you move the body in front of the bookshelf. And why would Detective Gumshoe do such a thing? Because the body was getting in his way. He had to mess up the bookshelf somehow, right? Anyway. Okay. But thanks to you, you didn't notice the bloody letters. Okay, but he did stole something, so technically no, he actually did see it. Why do you think that the killer didn't notice the bookshelf later? The body was covering quite well, wouldn't you say? How did he miss it? But judging by what I've seen, it doesn't take much for a detective to miss something. What do you think you are? You know nothing about me, pal. There's a lot of person that can understand about another from first impressions alone. I can't say I disagree with him at that point. Why don't you say something, sir? Not you too, Mr. Edgeworth! Despite his lack of attention to detail, I don't believe the detective to be the culprit. Nobody could have overlooked the bloody letters, and I can prove it with evidence. I couldn't ask for a better setup for the game finishing spike. Okay, so the last one is the one that what? Yeah, I know there's a flaw in his logic. Was I already in the back? Okay, no clue. Okay, bad evidence. Okay, let's see. Oh, now I'm in the back. Wait a minute. Let's see. Okay, and it will be his final words. Okay, brought to justice. Okay, I think it's this one. We're gonna present because there is a book missing and there was blood. Like one of the files that were written upon in blood was stolen. So we're presenting this one. Perhaps you're not aware, Mr. Portsman, but there is a serious flaw in your logic. Bringing a bit of quartz room into this, I see. No problem. I'm game. I can't help but find it odd. Excuse me? Odd that a fellow prosecutor would be brought down by the power of his own office. Well, what are you talking about? Are you joking? Oh, you're joking. Get it. Ha 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 ha. If you have the time to laugh, then you have the time to take another closer look at this. You still not see? If not, may I direct your attention to the missing file? What? That's impossible! What's impossible, Mr. Portsman? Nothing. If the files on the shelf are all about a certain case, when the killer went to take the file after murdering your partner, I highly doubt they could have missed the bloody letters written on the spines. It's possible that they could have taken the files before committing the murder. I think it's pretty obvious that the file was stolen after it was written on. The missing letter in the detective name where the file from should be proof. Should be is proof. Blah. Yeah, I mean, the S is gone and there's only half of a H. If Detective Gumshoe really was the culprit of the case, I highly doubt that even he could overlook his own name written in blood on the files, especially as a detective who can't stand the sight of blood. Which means, what exactly? What does that make this dying message? It makes it the work of a criminal intent to tamper with the crime scene. Ooh, you silence. That's so low. I can't believe the criminal tried to pin this whole thing on me, sir. I'm gonna get them, sir. You'll see. I'm gonna have them under arrest in no time. Well, Mr. Portsman? Brilliant. Absolutely splendid. Logic deserving of Olympic gold. I appreciate the praise, but it doesn't change the fact that your reasoning is flawed. You win some and you lose some. That's how life goes. But everyone's so cheery, even though I feel more dead than alive. I mean, it's also late for you. But you know, it really is a shame. I really didn't want to have to bring this up, however... What is it this time? Are you still after me, pal? Humor me for a second. Who has the key to the office? That would be me! But Mr. Edgewood just proved that I'm innocent, pal. That's absolutely right, and I acknowledge your innocence. Then why do I sense that you still have something to say? Oh, he's flexing. Well, I was thinking, did you know there is another person with a key to the office? One other person. Hey, you there! Yes, sir! What is it, sir? Would you kindly fetch the escort that lovely young lady here for me? Escort the young lady. Why did I say escort? Words. A lady. The girl is a member of this building security. Think of her as a material witness. Security! Did you say security? No, stop it, pal. Don't! What's wrong with him all of a sudden? There she is. I believe she needs no introduction. I have called upon Miss Maggie Bride, a member of security. Detective Gumshoe, sir? Maggie. Miss Bride is a security guard on watch tonight. I see. And your point is? My point is that she could very well have used it. And by it, I mean the master key, which can open all the office doors in this building. What? Oh well. I was like, what? If you are not the guilty party, Detective Gumshoe, then the only person with access to this room is Miss Bride. How dare you! I would never sneak into someone's room. That's right, I refuse to believe that Maggie's the culprit, pal. It was me. That's right, I did it. Well, he's accusing himself now. Can we take that as a confession, Detective? Well, it really wasn't me, but it definitely wasn't Maggie, pal. So yeah, it was me. If it was, you'd had no problems with it, right? Please refrain from frying off the handle, Detective. There's no need for such theatrics. I said it! I said theatrics the first time. I'm not lying. I'm lying. Listen to your boss, Detective. He understands what I'm saying here. That girl's the only one who could have committed the crime, and for one simple reason. Oh, what is your reason? Reason for suspicion. It's pretty obvious that Miss Bride snuck into your room using the master key. I mean, if Detective Gumshoe isn't the one who opened the door, then that leaves only Miss Bride as our prime suspect. On top of which, she knows our good detective, doesn't she? Making it all more probable that she was the one who faked the dying message. So you're saying she used the master key? The master key... Incredible incriminating evidence, wouldn't you say? That's what you claim about the evidence early as well. That was then, this is now. The flow of a good match always changes during a rally. It's all about your reflexes and reaction time, especially for an athlete like me. I wonder if there was anyone else other than Miss Bride who could have used the master key. It seems that the only way to get Mr. Portman to give me more details is to press him. Yeah. And I think we're gonna get maybe a new sentence, probably. Rebuttal!
Hold it!
Are you sure Miss Bride is the only member of security who could have used the master key? There's only one person on staff at the time of the night, and tonight she's it. Isn't that right, Miss Bride? That's true, but I wasn't able to use the master key at the time of the crime, sir. Wasn't able to? What's that supposed to mean? Yes, moving on. I'd hate to get sidetracked by something unrelated. What do you mean, pal, unrelated? I want to hear what she has to say, pal. But you can't really trust her not to tell lies. Plus, I hate wasting time. Should I hear Miss Bright out? Of course we must. Not so fast. I, too, am interested in hearing what Miss Bright has to say. Didn't I just say it'd be a waste of time? You don't need to hear her lies. I'll be the judge of that. Miss Bright, if you please. I discovered that the master key was missing at around 1 AM, sir. What do you mean by missing? As in, it wasn't anywhere in the security booth, sir. The killer must have stolen it. Mr. Portsman, I believe this is to be an important piece of testimony, don't you? I can't believe that someone like you would be taken in by such words. I'm not lying, sir.
Objection!
If that's the case, then I'd like to know why you have the master key now. I don't quite know. It just reappeared all of a sudden, sir. Likely story. And where is your proof that the key was stolen to begin with? I bet you just forgot where you put it and then found it again. I never lost things. I practically guarantee that. Lose things. Whoa! With me, if something disappears, it's usually because someone stole it. Yeah, pal, trust me, you don't want to test just how bad her luck is. Unfortunately, I can't deem this piece of testimony as conclusive. Glad you agree with me, Mr. Edgeworth. No, but... You still haven't established Maggie's motive for breaking into Mr. Edgeworth's office. Her motive? Didn't we already establish that it was theft? I mean, the culprit clearly went through the bookshelves and at least tried to save. It is as Portsman says, detective. I can't ignore the fact that all the evidence points towards a motive of theft. But I'm done taking blows. It's time to counteract with a few facts of my own. Alright, empty message shelves and wipe down the safe. I say is Teferi. Do I have something that might not be the case? Not really, I think. But we're gonna suppress. I concur the culprit's motive appears to have been Teferi, however. Glad to hear the great Mouse Edgeworth is agreeing with little old me. However, with regard to the investigation of the bookshelves and safe, hey, good thinking. Asking for my opinion on the matter. Would it be too much for you to allow me to complete a full sentence? Bruh. I mean, if Detective is the one who opened the door, we're gonna press that just in case. I thought we had established Detective Gumshoe innocence pretty thoroughly. It was just a theory, only hypothesis among the many possibilities. I mean, I had my doubts about Miss Bright from the very beginning. If that's the case, then why didn't you mention her first? No. Don't make the facts that face. See, there goes the truth, running the other way. Let's pick up the pace and see if we can catch up to it. I don't think you catch my drift. You're catching my drift. But we are in agreement that the detective isn't the killer, right? If so, then I hope you understand why when I say that since she is the only one who could have opened your office door, then that leaves only Miss Bright as our prime suspect.
Hold it!
Don't you think it's a bit early to be jumping to conclusions? Are you saying there's another way to open a door other than with the master key? Oh, I get it. Perhaps you had a spare made for someone else. I'll have you know I have never made a spare, so what are you insinuating? Nothing. Guess I should know better than to suggest that someone like you would. On top of which she knows our good detective, doesn't she? Okay, probably this is like where something is not right. Is there anyone in this district who hasn't at least heard Detective Gumshoe? Good point, he's practically a celebrity among us prosecutors. Really? I never knew I was so talked about, sir. We're holding our collective breath, you know. Bro, when you screw up so badly that you literally chase off the force. Wait, what? Wait, what? Is that true, Mr. Edgeworth? Of course not. That's hogwash. Of course it is. Phew, don't scare me like that. I almost had a heart attack there. Oh, this is the last one. Making it almost probable that she's the one who faked the dying message. By dying message, do you mean the bloody letter spelled out Gumshoe? I figured that whoever wrote his name must have wanted to frame him. And just the act of choosing his name is proof enough that two knew each other well. Mr. Edgeworth, what are you waiting for? Hurry and present some evidence. I would love to, but first we should listen a bit more and digest what he is saying, and press him for more information. Okay. Let's see what evidence we have, because we don't have enough. But Gumshoe was spelled upside down. So how was that the case? Gumshoe. Okay, so we need to figure out how she did it. Her intent, mess up the files, what save. So Gumshoe is the one who opened the door. She knows a good detective, doesn't she? Making it all the more probable that she was the one who faked it. I think this one is the one that doesn't make sense, because like then yeah. Let's save this just in case. Okay. Save that, go back, and then we're gonna go present, and then we're gonna go
objection.
No, it's not this one. Oh wait. Oh, she doesn't know about the safe. So then that's a thing. Detective Gumshoe, like here, or something messed up the shelves and wiped down the safe. Yes, because only prosecutors know that.
Objection.
Haha! I knew it. A little bit more thinking worked out. Do you wish to continue insisting that Miss Bride was set on stealing something? Why not? It's true after all. It was also by your logic that we came to the whole Tiffery conclusion anyway. That may be, but you must also be aware of the fact that the safe is a secret safe, the existence of which is only privately to prosecutors. I find it a little hard to believe that a hidden safe was part of her cunning plan. But she could have found it by accident while she was turning everything else upside down. I highly doubt that. I'd say the culprit knew exactly what they were looking for. After all, only the bookshelf and the safe were targeted. Aha, he's getting a little bit nervous. Yeah, even I didn't know about the safe, pal. And that means there is no way Maggie could have known about it either. Then, are you proposing that the killer is a prosecutor? Inserting conclusion, that definitely looking more and more probable. Oh, he's not liking this. What's wrong, prosecutor? Do you have a different suspect in mind now? Curses! Why? What made you? What's with that anger face all of a sudden? It's all my fault. What do you mean? It's Jim. He knew about the existence of the secret safe. What did you say? We were partners, like inseparable conjoined twins. That's why I told him I failed him on the secret safes. Well, then that means Yeah, I know. I only had just told him too. Obviously, it was wrong of me telling him, so then they think he's a thief, but he's not. I still can't quite believe it, but the thief who broke into your room was probably Jim. Now he's claiming the victim was the thief? And you were simply trying to stop him, weren't you? Miss Maggie Bride. Excuse me? I mean, you are a security guard, right? That's your job. But killing is going a bit too far, even in your risky profession. What the? You're still accusing Maggie of the murder? Yes and no. I mean, she had stumbled upon Jim, who had probably drawn his gun. I get it. It was self-defense, wasn't it? No, I couldn't. I could never do something like that. Not even as a security guard, sir. Plus, even if she was a thief, he wouldn't have a key to the office. Which is precisely why he had to steal it, wouldn't you say? It was Jim who stole the master key. Yeah. Pretty impossible for a supposedly stolen key to be here with us unless... Well, unless you retrieved it from Jim after you killed him. Mr. Portsman, are you honestly accusing your own partner of being a thief? I don't know. I don't want to admit it, but it's the only way for everything else to make sense. He has no honor. Now then, I think we're done here. The investigation waits for no man. Would you people be so kind to see yourselves out? You can't kick us out. This is Mr. Edgeworth's office. Ah, but I'm the one who has been assigned to this case. You are all suspects to varying degrees and therefore ineligible to run this show. Listen, pal, how many times do I have to say this? Maggie can't be the culprit. Detective Gumshoe, calm yourself. But sir, we have no choice but to accommodate his request for now. Aha, thank you, Mr. Edgeworth. At least one of you understands. Now then, if you could remove yourselves from the crime scene, I'd be most grateful. Mark my words, Mr. Portsman, we will meet again. If that's a formal request for the legendary prosecutor himself, then I suppose so. Now, don't disappoint me. You hear? To be continued. Well, I'm gonna continue this. March 14th, 4:18 a.m. Prosecutors Building, 12-4. Oh my god, they actually waited like almost an hour and a half? That's crazy. I mean, they were there an hour and a half. What is with that prosecutor? I can't believe how rude he was. It's unbelievable. Please maintain your professionalism, detective. I'm gonna find some real solid evidence proving Maggie's innocent. You hear, sir? Well, we've been kicked out of the crime scene, sir. True. So then, what now? Looks like my life's fallen into yet another gigantic ditch. Do not despair, Miss Bride. We can overcome this as well. There are many other places and things we should be looking into anyway. Really, sir? For example, this hallway. The linchpin of his argument against Miss Bride is related to the master key. In that case, this hallway is a perfect place to look for more information regarding to the mystery surrounding my door. Let's go, I already see. Ah! What am I doing? Well, the disarray, I can't do anything about that, so we're gonna continue with this. I won't rest until I see every nook and cranny. I already see it right there. Ah, it's the missing 0 series file, sir. No doubt about it, the bloody letters mark is clear as day. It seems that a few pages missing. Our thief only took what's necessary and left the rest behind. So what are the 0 files about, sir? I guess they've got something worth stealing in them, huh? Not particularly, it's just a collection of court case files. However, the case within these files are not mine. Huh? They belong to the High Prosecutor that used to occupy my current office. I have my reasons, but let's just say I was charged with keeping them as they were. Then that means the thief must have also wanted the file for a specific reason, right? It would seem so. Only the pages related to that case from 10 years ago are missing. I wonder why anyone would care about such an old case. Well, that's it. Then we can go look around. So this is the door that we have. Yeah. Okay. So then... basketball. This office. 203, 203. Hey Maggie, whose room is this again? That's Mr. Portsman, sir. So he's my new neighbor, I see. I suppose he moved in a while I was overseas. Okay. What's the basketball hoop doing over here? Hey, don't use to be outside next to the building a long time ago. So, when and why is this moved indoors? I don't remember exactly, but I was one of the officers who dragged it up here recently. Dragged it? I heard that it would fit in the elevator, so the poor guy had to bring it himself. Oh, it wouldn't fit. Oh, so he had to like go with the stairs all the way up to the 12th floor? Oh god. Okay, what else? Well, what's the basketball doing here? That's Mr. Portsman's prized possession, sir. I heard he also played soccer, dodgeball, and even tennis. And not a single one of those sports is suitable to be played in a hallway. Okay, anything else? This is his door. Okay, let me see, the 202. The 4 numbers, the number plate proclaim that it's my office. Whoops! Hey, these numbers plates slide right out, sir. Oh. They have to be able to take the plate off when a room becomes vacant, you know? Although the idea that it can be easily removed is kind of... Yeah. This is probably changed, of course, because that's too easy. I don't see any signs of forced entry. And according to the guard, no signs that the lock was picked either, sir. Meaning that the door really was open with a key. Did you happen to ask if any prints were lifted from the doorknob? Apparently the doorknob was clean as a whistle. Wiped, they think. Whoever this thief is, they did a good job of not leaving any clues behind. Can I go down? Up. Door, minimalistic, classy. Sturdy, impossible to break force. It's almost majestic, sir. I wish I could. You praise the door as something greater than himself. Being a detective has its own rewards and a certain virtuous value, I think. If you live upon your full potential, that's a poignant trait of their anyone can admire. Okay, I see you're saying that being me is the best thing I can do for everyone. Right. That's a long pause, wasn't exactly reassuring, sir. Okay, I think I'm done here. What else must I look? Do I have more logic? I don't think there was new logic placed for evidence. I think I can talk to him. Hello, sir. I'm very close to you. Is everything alright, sir? Yes, sir. If you must know, I weighed myself this morning and I'm finally at 154 pounds. Congratulations, but I was asking about this hallway and this room. Oh, everything's okay, sir. Word of advice, stay focused or you may start to lose even more weight. Oh wow. It looks like you're quite in a pinch, Mr. Edgeworth. To be true, a murder within the walls of the prosecutor office is no trifling matter. We must find, apprehend, and punish the killer accordingly, post-haste. Sounds like a messy case you've got on your hands. If you ever feel lost or need advice, my door is always open. How gracious, I will keep your offer in mind. Who is this guy again? I know him, but I forgot his name too. Okay, let's see. Oh, we can talk to Maggie. We literally forgot about her, that she was literally standing here. Oh, wow. I was wondering if I might speak to you about a bit concerning this case. I've always been a big fan of your courtroom, but this is like a dream! A dream. I've been cross-examined the way by the Miles Edgeworth. I can't let this chance pass by. I must remember to ask her about the master key. I should jog her memory by showing my notes to her by X. Okay, well... I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna go right ahead. Oh, lowly security guard. I have to talk about the master key. Whoopsie! Wrong evidence. Master key. So when did you discover that the master key was missing? By the time I realized it, I think it was around 1 AM, sir. And I noticed it was back at around 2:30. It was just sitting there on the ledge where the security room's reception window is. But I'm sure that between those two times, it was just not gone, but stolen, sir. Ow. I just hurt myself. Why is such an important key stored in such an insecure place? It's not like that, sir. We always keep the key further inside the room, away from the window. Always, you say, except for this time, correct? Well, I admit that was a bit careless, but I had my reasons. I left it out because I was sort of using it at the time. It was after that I used it that I left it sitting out on the ledge. She used the master key? Okay. So then I think, yeah, use the master key is there. What did you mean by use the master key? Oh, I had to use it to open the door for this prosecutor who had forgotten his key. I mean, it's my job as security guard, right? Ah! What is it? That's right, I just remembered. The prosecutor who forgot his key. It was Mr. Portsman, sir. What? Please tell me more, Miss Bright. Quickly! Forgotten Portsman. It was around 12 AM. Mr. Portsman had forgotten his office key, so he came down to security, sir. And that's when you loaned the master key to him? No way! It's again against regulation to loan the master key out to anyone. I walked with Mr. Portman to the office and opened the door for him personally, sir. I see. And then what happened after that? Well, he called for me to come close up his office as he was leaving to go home. That was around 1:30, I think. So in summary, for the sake of one forgetful prosecutor, you used the master key twice tonight. Oh, wait, didn't she say it was stolen around 1? So probably, wait a minute. I'm stupid. Because she said it came back in the office. But I didn't want to read that. I was like, you can open the office, was stolen from the... I thought I was gonna write down the information. But 2:30, I believe, that it came back. Yeah, it was 2:30 that it came back. So she actually used it twice. Interesting. That's about suspicious. Talk about suspicious. I doubt you can say that you've never left your keys home, detective. I think this calls for a thorough examination of Mr. Portsman's door. Okay. Can I go down? Well, click door, minimalistic. It's gonna say the same thing! No! Can I? Okay, different eye because behind these nonsense. Man doesn't become more or less different because where he works. Mr. Payne, I suppose, curious I work. Also, oh, that's Mr. Payne! I remember now. Okay, well, the door. The door lock. The door lock is tight. I bet the old credit card trick wouldn't work here, Mr. Edgeworth. In this office of a high prosecutor detective, these doors would be pretty ineffective if the average cat burglar could get through them. Ah, so only a great cat burglar could get in. That must be who the culprit is. Might I advise you to return that conclusion to whatever pawn shop you bought it from? Okay. Oh, wait. Ah! I pressed the button again. Wait, 230, master key. I think I can deduct this because this is actually, like, wrong in a sense. She used it twice, so then we can connect these. Yeah! Miss Bride, I'm afraid there's a flaw in your story. What? No, pal. I mean, sir. You said you locked Mr. Portman's door office at 1:30, correct? However, the master key had already been stolen at that time. Wow, nothing gets by you, Mr. Edward. You say that contradiction like a pro. I had totally forgotten about that, but thank you. I remember now. You're right, it was around that time that I realized the master key was missing. And? Well, I'm a security guard, sir. I couldn't just admit to losing the master key, could I? So I pretended to lock up his room. Yes, I remember! As well, you pretended. Yeah, so I used my house key and made it look like I was locking up, sir. So in actuality, you never did relock the door then. Well, I thought that maybe I could go lock it after I found the key. Come to think of it, I guess the door still hasn't been locked properly. Oh, but like, I just checked and it was actually locked tight, so that's not right. The deuce! I can deduce it now because I already have it. Haha, I'm already here, so that's good. Okay, so then we got here, present. There's a contradiction here between the reality and the evidence. What is it, Miss? If what Miss Bryce said is true, then why is this door locked tight? You know you're right. Miss Bright, are you still sure you didn't relock this door? I'm certain of it, sir. And I don't think Mr. Portman knows himself that I hadn't. Which means, what, sir? This either means that he actually does have the key to his office, or that the door Miss Bright opened wasn't the one at all, but a completely different one. She opened a different door? But how can you prove that? There's an easy way to find out. All we need to do is... we need to examine these. Prints on the master key, prints on the doorknob, number plate. Prints on the number plate, they were to tell us all we need to know. Everything, really? Like what, sir? Please. Oh, shoot. No! Aw. That was right. No! I did it again. That was amazing, sir. How did you know? Wait, did he say it, Aurel? Well... This is instant noodles. Well, that's not important. Okay. Go back. Okay, let's see. Prince of the master key. Prince of the doorknob. The prints on the doorknob. Yes! Then because, like, her prints would then be on it. The prints on a doorknob will tell us everything. Hey, you're right, pal. Do us a favor and... Hey, you, pal. Do us a favor and see where you can lift this, okay? So then the guy does it. So what did you find? There's no need to be belligerent nostril flaring, detective. Sir, I have found only Mr. Portman's and Mr. Fate's prints on this doorknob. So only two people's prints were found on this, huh? That's pretty decisive. I'm lost, sir. I'm thinking logically. A certain person's print should be on this doorknob as well. Now, whose print should be on the doorknob? Maggie's! Don't you find it odd that the prints of the person who unlocked the door are absent? You mean, yes, the doorknob that Miss Bright opened could not have been this one, but a different one. Okay, unlocked prints were not found on the doorknob. What do we have here? Yay, we're going down finally! That's how we go down. I won't rest until I've found every nook and cranny. Oh, this is how it works now. Oh, I want to have that arrow. Interesting. Okay. What's this? Looks like a scrap of paper. I'll get it, sir. Let's see. Oh, there's something written on it. It looks like a note from the victim. Yeah, and it's for Mr. Portman. I should have read it when it was there. Let's read it. I brought the 3 pieces of evidence by, just like we talked about on the phone, but it looks like you're out. Guess I'll catch up to you later. Huh. Okay. Interesting. So how we're gonna do this? Should we just go to her, I guess? Let's present this to her and see what will happen. Oh yeah, I need to click present. Whoopsie. Nope, never mind. We don't really need to know about the victim, do we? Well, I guess so in order to continue the story. Have you ever met the victim before? Well, I've seen him a couple of times before when I had to go to Mr. Portman's office. Mr. Fate was always playing basketball with Mr. Portman, sir. Sounds like fun. Just once Just once I'd have loved to play with them. It sounds so fun, but the only person ever taking a shot was Mr. Portman. All Mr. Fate did there was pass him the ball, sir. On second thought, I don't think I've had fit in at all that well with them. Okay, well that was short. Okay. Miss Maggie Bride, correct. I take it that you are acquainted with the detective? I was under the impression that she still forced her. Wait! I remember! I need to go back to the door! And she has like a few hours ago, right before I was about to clock out for the night. You got caught up in this whirlwind case, correct? Don't worry! My whole life has been nothing but a whirlwind of bad luck and failures. Okay. Since I was 6 months old, when I fell from the 9th floor I've been hit by all sorts of vehicles, got sick of all sorts of food, failed at almost every test I've taken and experienced all kinds of disasters, and now I've managed to name a criminal just when I've become a security guard. That's a lot to go through in one lifetime. Yeah, we had experience like her and like Phoenix Wright that she also was accused in a person's death. And then she gets wind up here again. Wow, what's such bad luck? Don't worry, Miss Bride, nor you have to worry about yourself. I will solve this case and prove your innocence! All is in return. Yay! Okay. Stop talking. No! I did it again. I pressed the wrong button. Okay, go away. We're going to the door. Go to the door. Yes, I see it already. How blind was I? What's this? What are you looking at, sir? Oh, hey. How about a game? That's okay, detective. I just found this position of the hoop a little bit off. Hey, you're right, sir. I guess it shifted when someone made a serious, sweet slam dunk. Position of the hoop is definitely unnatural. I better take note of this. Okay. And now we finished the investigation. Woof! Yes. Looking around this hallway, it has actually paid off quite handsomely. Huh. How so, sir? A variety of different ways. I think it's time we had a little chat with the real culprit of this case. You know who the killer is? Wow, Mr. Edgeworth. As long as my logic is sound, then yes. The mastermind behind this murder is none other than Mr. Portsman. What? Mr. Portsman? I knew it! That's exactly what my logic senses were telling me too. I suspect it was him from the instant he accused Maggie of being the killer, sir. That is anything but logical. But logic. Lady and gentlemen, prepare yourself. Come what may, it's time to knock on truth's door. March 14th, 5:12 a.m. Type office. Mr. Portsman, I finished processing the blood's letter, sir. Alright, let's make a gander at it. Pass it here. Woo! Okay, looking good. You there, take good care of it. What? Got hit hard. Well, if it isn't Detective Gumshoe. End of the line for you, Portsman. We got you now. Call off your dog, Mr. Edgeworth. Is this some kind of joke? It's no joke. We know, Mr. Jax Portsman, that you are the guilty party in this case. You must be pretty upset getting chased out of your own room. I'd be mad too. So I guess you can stay if you promise to stay out of our way. You intend to hide your crime under the guise of a prosecutor doing his job. I can see through your unsightly paper-thin mask you wear upon your cowl. Haha, who would have thought it would come to this? Actually, come to think of it, your mentor was Manfred von Karma, right? Oh, he's gonna use that. The legendary prosecutor who never lost a single case for 40 long years. But there was always this insistent chatter about forged evidence with that guy. Really teaches me that I've got to stay on the lookout for false accusations, you know? Are you done trying to play mind games with me? Because they won't work. The only thing you should be using that mouth of yours for now is explaining yourself. Although that too will only dig your hole deeper. Either way, your game is up. Well, aren't you full of surprises? Even though you have yet to prove anything. Rebuttal! I have no idea what sort of harebrained idea you have in mind, but there's a mountain of evidence that points away from me being the culprit. Besides, how may I ask, do you propose an unlocked door? I unlocked your door and got in here. Look, I feel bad doing this to you, but I've got work to do, so we're done here. Sorry, but we are not finished yet. Boy, you're stubborn. I suppose you're basing your accusations on something. I'll show you what I'm basing my accusations on with evidence. Okay, let's see. Can I actually, like, go to him straight away? There's a man Smith and evidence that points away. Besides, how may I actually propose I unlocked the door and got in here? Okay, we're gonna save just in case, as always. Okay, we're gonna present. I say the door can be open. It was stopped for security. We're not found on the doorknob. Okay, let's try this one.
Objection!
No! It's not the right one. I think instead of pressing, let me just present, I'm gonna press on him.
Hold it!
Unfortunately, I believe I have already shown you earlier. Your speculation means nothing. I still insist that I couldn't have gained access to your room. What should I do now? Should I raise an objection? I think I should. Your claim have no way to open my door. However, is that really the truth? Haha, alright, I'll humor you. Go ahead, shoot. Very well then. I propose that you use this to open my door. We're gonna do the master key, or is there more? The hoop. Here, there's a sign that has been moved. Which evidence should I use? Surprised that she also not found. Okay, probably the office.
Take that!
No! Okay, well the master key was stolen still, so that means that he did use this.
Take that!
I believe you were able to open my office door with this master key, no less.
Objection!
Wait. Hold on for a sec. I've never laid a finger on that key. As you already know. Precisely, you were able to open my door without lifting a single finger. Well, maybe you did, but only to direct. Hahaha. We got him. That's right. You use your finger to direct this person to open my door. That's Maggie!
Take that!
You had asked Miss Bride to open your own office door for you, yes? Yeah, I kind of forgot my key at home. Happens a bit too often for my taste, you know? But the room you had Miss Bride open at that time was not your own, was it? What? You have quite the imagination. But why do you ask the girl herself whose door she opened, shall we? I'm certain that it was Miss Portman's door, sir. I checked the number plate to make sure I was opening the right door, sir. See, Miss Bright backs up my story. Yet, what if you had misled her to fool her into making that what you wanted? Thinking that you want. Ha! And how do you suppose I did that? By switching the number plates on the door, for example. That's right. They do slide out pretty easily. Furthermore, you then use one other thing to give a very strong impression. That door she was opening was yours and not, in fact, mine. What was it that Mr. Portsman used that Miss Bright think that it was his room? That is, of course, the basketball thing.
Take that!
Basketball hoop. The basketball hoop, sir? It's quite a peculiar fixture in any hallway, let alone a hallway in this building, in which Y is left an unusual strong impression on you. It's an object perfectly suited to sit just outside the office of a peculiar prosecutor. That's very true, sir, because there was a basketball hoop sitting there. I thought the door was opening had to be Mr. Portsman. There are signs that the hoop has been moved. To sit it in front of my office, to be sure. I see, so that's how you throw suspicion on people. Thanks for the tip. But I think your conjecture is a little off the racetrack. He's gonna do another rebuttal. No! Now you're just spouting nonsense. I had the girl open my office door. After that, I was in my room the entire time. You don't have a single reason to suspect me. Okay, well, we can, I think, attack him instantly with the evidence. So he tends to claim his innocence to the end, does he? I'm as pure and innocent as my jacket. And Miss Bride is as dirty and guilty as the jacket she wears. My jacket's not dirty. I washed it yesterday. Please calm down, for I intend to show who is the one truly covered in slime here. Okay, let's try to do it. We're gonna save it just in case. Okay, it was in office 2 room the entire time. Let's save this. Let's present, and we're gonna go to this file. Because he was absent. That was a lie. What are you talking about? How was that a lie? This is a note that the victim left for you, Mr. Portsman. A note? It was left under your door, or did you not notice? And right here it says, but you're out. You were not in the room when the victim came to call on you. So then, where were you, and what were you doing? Yeah, we are getting closer to the real answer. Shall I explain it in full detail for you? You were busy snooping around in my room, the very room you had Miss Bright open for you. That's just nonsense. You have no evidence that I made the girl open your door for me. Oh, but I do. I have very decisive evidence. No way! This is proof positive that you had Miss Bright open the door for you, and that is this! You had your door dusted for prints. My door? What for? Come on, I bet you didn't find anything. You sure are good at wasting time. You're right, I didn't find anything. and I definitely did not find I definitely not find, wow, and definitely not Miss Bright's fingerprints. Her prints? What do they have to do with anything? Let's put it this way. If she really was the one who opened your door, then her prints should naturally be on the doorknob she touched. Nah! Further, all the other prints on my office door's knob have been wiped clean off. I can only assume it's because Ms. Bright's fingerprints were on it. Don't you think it's time to give up your charade? We know you stole into my office with the intent of stealing something from me. And Detective Fate found you out, possibly because he heard sounds coming from a room whose occupant was on leave. Mr. Portsman, you killed Mr. Face to silence him. And I had the misfortune to return when I did. You had to threaten me as you escape. As I said, when you had the gun to my back, no one gets away with committing murder in my office. Oh, he's gonna continue laughing. And just what's so funny, pal? Well, that look of stiff seriousness on the face of this office's finest prosecutor. Oh wait, whoa. Well, that look of stiff seriousness on the face of this office's finest prosecutor as he makes a huge mistake in accusing me is simply too much to bear. There's just nothing else like it in the world. What? Mr. Edward just explained it all, and he even backed it up. You're the murderer. Stop trying to be slippery and just admit the crime already. And as I said earlier, it's all so circumstantial, so full of conjecture. You say you checked my doorknob for prints. Well, I can readily confess that I had wiped that doorknob down well. Eh? I'm a little obsessive and compulsive, you see. I didn't want to touch a doorknob that you had touched. Which is why I wiped the doorknob down as soon as I could after you opened the door. After that, it makes perfect sense that only Jim's and my own prints would be on there. You made that up just now, didn't you? Furthermore, as for the note Jim left for me, do you know exactly when that was? For all we know, he could have left it before I arrived at my office. Like, early evening, for example. Are you saying you failed to notice a note in your doorway? Hey, even geniuses fail at times. I was probably too preoccupied by work-related matters, although that's no excuse. Now that's just a flat-out lie. There is no way you didn't notice a note that size. Ah, but you can't prove that, can you? Say something, Mr. Edward. Back me up here, sir. Postman makes a good point. I can't prove that he didn't, simply overlooked it. Besides, I have an airtight alibi. Airtight, you say? I only just realized I had one as we were talking. I guess it would have been better for all of us if I had told you sooner. If my memory serves, you came back to the office at 2 a.m., correct? And it was then that you had the unfortunate confrontation at gunpoint with the culprit. But exactly that time I was down in criminal affairs. Ask around, I'm sure the other detectives will corroborate my story. It's a perfect alibi. Do you really think it's that perfect? Like I said, I don't care. Ask around all you like. You'll see for yourself. Detective Gumshoe. Yes, sir, yes. Oh, wait. Sir, yes, sir. I'll go check his alibi, sir. Be right back. Mr. Edwards, sir, I think we're in trouble. It's just like Mr. Postman said. The guys down in the criminal affairs said they saw him around 2 a.m. You see? All of the evidence points to him being the culprit, so there must be a contradictory point his alibi somewhere. Okay, Remember, so you came back to the office around 2 a.m., correct? Let's press. You're correct. It was around 2 a.m. Are you sure? It's really important to me that you spot on with the time. I remember checking my watch then, and make no mistake, it was 2. Oh, given testimony like a pro. Okay, so you came back to your office around at 2. It was then that you unfortunately confronted gunpoint. Is as you say, however. Yes, however, you are the only one who claims to have bumped into the culprit. So tell me, did you see the person's face? Was it me who you saw? It was pitch black, so I couldn't actually see. Objection! Oh, come on now, I'm sure you had saw something. Try a little harder, why don't you? I'm beginning to feel like I'm the one being interrogated here. Oh well, it doesn't matter if you remember or not. It only matters that you ran into the culprit. Hold it! Fares. So you paid the Criminal Affairs Department a visit. Yep, that's right after I left the prosecutor building, I headed straight for the precinct. Axe around. Hey. Hold it! Well, we did go and ask around to confirm your testimony. It was just as I said, right? Yes, sir. A number of detectives said that he saw you around that time. See, I have the perfect alibi. That's the ace I had up my sleeve. Dah! Impossible! He actually does have the perfect alibi. What's wrong? Why the sudden sullen look on your face? Can't you say anything back, Mr. Edgeworth? Hey, I think we've reached the end of the line. It's time to get off this crazy train. You there! Sir! Please escort the young lady out. But remember, be gentle. Maggie! Detective Gumshoe! And they're always so loud. Is there nothing I can do? There must be a way to turn this situation around. If I only had a clue, did I miss something that can help me cast doubt on his alibi? The intruder I met could not have been Mr. Portsman. But who could have been? Still Mr. Portsman, right? I need to calmly think this through one more time with logic. We're gonna do logic time! Yay! Okay, range twice. Okay, we're gonna, I think, the handgun. Then what could it have been? Let's say that, like, the intruder I met could not have been Mr. Portsman. Twice. I think I can do this one, I think. I don't know. Other than the victim's gun that I found, there has been another gun in play here. Let's try. Yes! There were 2 bullets left at the scene of the crime. One that robbed Miss Fate of his life. And the one that nearly robbed me from my jacket. However, the murder weapon only shows signs of being fired once, meaning that it's entirely possible the second gun was used in my office tonight. But seeing as how the killer had to steal Mr. Fate's gun, I doubt the killer had another gun up their sleeve. Therefore, the second gun could have been the property of an entirely different person. Which could mean that there was another person who had paid a visit at my office tonight. Okay, so then these are the last ones. Weren't only visitors at my office. Like, maybe the victim and his killer weren't the only visitors in my office tonight. Well, these are the only ones I have to connect either way. Supposing there was yet another visitor tonight, that would also resolve the issue of why my shelves were appended twice. Hey, yeah, for true, that is right. Actually, I remember now. There was actually another killer maybe there. We know that the shelves were disturbed once before and after the murderer. So it shouldn't be much of a stretch to think that it was the work of two different people. Once by a person who stole the victim's gun and then killed him with it, and once again after the murder has by our second culprit, who was the owner of the second gun. It was supposed to be the second culprit's gun was the one that was pointing at my back.
Objection!
Objection! Mr. Portsman, it seems that I need to amend your assumption regarding this case. Great, so you finally come to your senses. Mr. Edgeworth? Sir, what are you saying? This has been a big misunderstanding on my part from the start. I had assumed that the person I ran into was the killer, but that may not be the case. What do you mean? The person I ran into was just an average thief. A thief? But, sir, doesn't that cause some sort of contradiction in the facts? Not at all. It simply means that the killer was someone else. And it means that the actuality two culprits stole into my office tonight. What do you mean, two? It explains both why my shelves were disturbed twice and how there were two guns. Mr. Portsman tricked Miss Bride and gained entry into my office. Now you're just leading the argument. You still don't have any actual proof, you know? If you could please go along with my hypothetical I can't say quick. If you could please go along with my hypothetical scenario for now, Mr. Portsman. In the end, if you really are innocent, you should have nothing to worry about. Now then, returning to my scenario, Mr. Portsman was out to steal something from me, which is why he checked my secret safe and ransacked my shelves. This is the first time. So then, this would be when the files were put back in the wrong order, right? Correct. And then, just when he was about to look someone else. What? Wait. And just when he was about to look somewhere else, who should walk in but his own partner, Mr. Fate? But why did Mr. Fate come into your room, sir? He probably had business with Mr. Portsman, which is why he was in the area. But that's when he noticed sounds coming from the office, would be my guess. Oh, because you were supposed to be away, right? And he must have thought it was odd, so he came into his office to check it out. Correct. As a detective, that was the right thing to do. But when he came in, he found his own partner standing there. Because it was Mr. Portman, Mr. Fate probably had let his guard down. Mr. Portman was not so merciful as to let him leave alive. He waited for a chance and stole Mr. Fate's gun from him, and then he killed him. He silenced Mr. Fate from catching him in the act of stealing. This was the very moment in which the first shot was fired, the one that landed in my files. Following that, Mr. Portsman wiped the gun down and left it behind as he made his exit. He could afford to do that because he had also left the fake dying message behind. You're such a complicated troublemaker, you know that. Well, if things were as simple as that, then all would be solved. However, there was yet another visitor in my room, and this is where it gets complicated. There was another visitor, sir? Yes, and this other person's objective was to steal something from me. Now, then, even after Mr. Portsman left, the door from my office remained unlocked. However, this new visitor had no way of knowing that, and so they stole the master key from the security guard room, and then entered my room and searched through my shelves. This way, the second time they were disturbed, and it seemed the thief found their prize. The stolen 0 file, right, sir? Correct. Only just as the thief was about to leave with the file, I appeared. The thief then threatened me with their own gun and made their escape. The second bullet was fired during the brief encounter. So then, the shells getting messed up twice and the 2 bullets, it was all because 2 different people were doing those things at 2 different times. Precisely. So now do you see, Mr. Portsman? The person I met was just a thief, and was not, in fact, Mr. Fate's killer. Your alibi for the time frame in which I ran into the other person is now irrelevant. Because you know that the murderer took place during the first culprit's visit. What's so funny, pal? Absolutely splendid. Your scenario explains everything. Of course it does. It's Mr. Edgeworth after all. But you know, it still doesn't change the fact that it's all circumstantial. Supposing if, and that's a big if, your theory is right. It would indeed render my alibi in words. It would indeed render my alibi, which has withstood scrutiny. I can't scrutiny. English is hard all of a sudden. Scrutiny. Mind you, irrelevant. But there is still one defining point of your argument in which you have no evidence. Your suspicion that I was the first visitor. Mr. Edgeworth, you can't let him get away with that, sir. But he has a point. I have absolutely no proof at this point. Don't say that, sir. I don't believe this. Don't worry, Maggie. I'll do something if I must. You know something? I find your attitude to be somewhat peculiar, Mr. Edgeworth. If the person you met really was just a plain old thief, then why is that part not your main suspect? That is, if your theory is correct. No, not a rebuttal again! Alibi 2. That thief you ran into should be your real suspect, wouldn't you say? We should be out there looking for that thief right now. They might still be nearby. I hate to repeat myself, but as I have already said, I was in my training I was training in my room, and when Jim came to deliver some evidence to me, I was down at the criminal affairs, so I can't be expecting to know what happened around here after I left. So you think we should be out there looking for the thief? Of course! Now, isn't the time to be having these dead-end discussions? I don't think it's all dead-ended. If your alibi... I find your alibi to be fascinating. Let's continue where we left off, shall we? We know he's lying. I know he was here at the scene of the crime. I just have to find a way to prove it. Okay, what evidence do we have again to prove it? I'm gonna press on him again. Let's see first the evidence. I mean, that's the only one that we have that is like evident to it. But we're gonna press on him.
Hold it!
Actually, no, I wouldn't. Why not? That's elementary. The dying message, of course. My dog, I swear, if it's gonna be sounding into the mic, I'm gonna cry. The thief you ran should be your real suspect, wouldn't you just say? Yeah, because of the dying message, okay. Mr. Fake Killer was clearly left those letters on the spines of the files, and it was after they were on there that the thief stole one of them. You mean the 0 files, right? And that's how we also know the letters themselves were set up and not from Mr. Fate. If the thief was the killer, do you think they would try to undermine themselves? Maybe the killer just didn't think of that either. Yes, that must be it. Maybe, just maybe. Looking for him. Nearby. Once escaped, I highly doubt a thief is lingering nearby. Well, you never know. Maybe they didn't get what they were really after. Oh, you talk like you know quite a bit about this thief. It's nothing like that. I have no idea what idea about anything. After all, you are the criminal affairs. Oh, you were in your room training. But according to Mr. Fate's note, hold on, I thought we already made that clear. Didn't we say that Jim left that note for me in the early evening? If you have proof that he left it at a different time, say just before he was murdered. I don't have any no. You see? So I insist again that I was in my office at the entire time. And when Jim came to deliver some evidence to me, I was down at the criminal.
Hold it!
Wait, 3 evidence. Why didn't you go there with Mr. Fate? That's because he said he was tired and he was going to take a quick nap. You know those sofas in the hallway? He really liked to sleep on those. It's one of his habits. And what's of the evidence he brought? There were things related to yesterday's case, just 2 items. A gun and a pendant. Interesting. This piece of testimony seems to be crucial. Let's slip through the cracks. Okay. This one. This is really important. But where's the pendant? That's the thing. A gun. Aha. Okay, we'll just press it. A gun and a pendant. Yes, this gun, which was the murder weapon, but that's impossible because that's his gun. And this pendant, which belonged to the victim. And why were you taking them to the criminal affairs? There was something in the past case file I wanted to compare these two to. But all this has nothing to do with this case right now. Anyway, I believe you'll find the long paper trail I left to be to your satisfaction. This is all mashing up with the Detective Gumshoe found out. I'll press this one again.
Hold it!
I can't expect you to know, can I? Nope. But I guess you can expect me to take a guess based on logical deduction. Oh, then let's see your deduce. Jim waited for me to leave and then stole the master key. For the purpose of sneaking into your room, of course. And that's when Miss Bright caught him red-handed and murder occurred. It's all exactly as I had laid out earlier. I know he's lying and I know he was here at the scene of the crime. I just have to find a way to prove it. Okay, so we're going to the one with the pendant and gun, because the gun was his own from Fates. No, all he brought 2 items, a gun and a pendant. I'm gonna press N. It's technically 3 items.
Objection!
Only 2 pieces? I believe the proper phrase here is you fail. Excuse me? You failed as a prosecutor, Mr. Portman, as you intend to keep evidence hidden from me. What are you talking about? I haven't hidden anything from you. Well, here's a piece I think you should read carefully. It says that Mr. Fate was bringing 3 pieces. Yes, and this is the victim's real dying message to you, Mr. Portman. I can't believe it. To get tripped up by simple arithmetic. Where is the missing piece of evidence? It's... You have it, don't you? Only the guilty would make such a face. Detective Gumshoe. You don't have to say it, sir. I'll pat the guy down from head to toe. Why don't you come any closer? I'm warning you. This is all part of the investigation, pal. So don't even think about stopping me. No! Hey, what's this? He had this on him, sir. Despite what you said, it appeared that you do have something to hide. Well, why would he hide something like that? there's only one reason why anyone would hide evidence of this caliber. Because it would unequivocally point to that person himself as the real killer. Yeah. Let's examine this videotape in a little more detail. For the section of tape that will drive the last nail into his coffin. It's the KB3 incident. Oh, blood! Ah, there's blood, isn't it? Yes, I believe this is what the good prosecutor was trying to hide from us. This blood is still fresh. You mean this might be Detective Fate's blood? No! No, you got it all wrong! No amount of denial can save you. You have but to run a blood test to find the truth. You told us that you have received evidence from the victim earlier. Now you will tell us when and how did the victim's blood find its way onto this video. Yeah, it's totally suspicious. Was it all at the moment of his death? Did Detective Fate have the videotape on his personage when you killed him? You know very well that there is no way to prove that. Not even if we were to examine this tape for fingerprints? If I had to take a guess, I'd say the only one on here would belong to the murderers. You and Mr. Fate. No, impossible. I'm lie. He just died. He happily just passed over there. Selisa! Hi, prosecutor office. We finished it. Mr. Portsman has been placed under arrest for the murder of Detective Buddy's Fate, sir. Very good. And the results we got back from the lab techs on the tape turned out to be real solid, sir. The blood work came back, and it was definitely Mr. Fate's blood on here. And as a bonus, they're also able to lift a few of Mr. Fate's fingerprints as well. Thank you very much, Mr. Edgeworth. I still can't believe I got to see your cool deduction skills outside the courtroom. I'm impressed beyond words, sir. It was nothing. I'm just sorry you got caught up in the murder in my office. Please accept my apologies. It was nothing, really, compared to what I've been through. I mean, I consider myself lucky that it was only a burglary and a murder this time, sir. If it had been a hold-up or a hostage situation, I'd have thrown my hands up in the air, sir. I think I'm finally rising up from a goddess of misfortune to just an unlucky person. Something tells me we should have hired a different person for security detail. You know, something, sir? That Mr. Portsman really was one corrupt prosecutor. And why would you say he was corrupt? Well, I heard that there were a number of suspicious things related to his court cases. There's even rumors about how some of the evidence he used is forged, sir. Forged evidence, huh? And they say he even decided not to prosecute a few cases for some really vague reasons. Oh, that was a complete disgrace to the entire profession! We never did get around to asking what his reasons was for breaking into my office. Yeah, whenever we got near that topic, he just clammed up. Although we can be pretty certain that it was to steal something. This is just between you and me, sir, but there is a rumor that some sort of huge organization is involved behind the scenes. Oh? Well. With Mr. Portsman not willing to divulge anything, it certainly lends credence to that rumor. It would seem that we haven't heard of the last of this. Huh? That Mr. Portsman isn't the bad guy. I didn't say that, but rather that there are still many more mysteries for us to solve. For example, we still have to figure out the significance of this piece of evidence. And that is this.
Take that!
The Person who stole this file. The utter villain of the night. Yeah, I wonder who it was. And what happened to the stolen pages? I wonder who in the world was it that held me up at gunpoint? Mr. Edward, sir! Yes? I came across this while I was processing your office earlier, sir. This card. What is it, sir? Is that a bird or something on there? It's not just any bird. It's a mark of a raven. A three-legged raven. Even you should know what this is, detective. Oh, it's about that thing, isn't it? That great thief everyone's talking about. Yeah, is the mark of the great thief. Yatagas... Oh no, I'm gonna ruin this. Yatagas... I should slow it down. Yatagarasu. Yatagarasu. I said it! Yay! Under the mark of the legendary bird, the Yagarasu, I already failed, is noble to the end, a modern Robin Hood. Labeled mysterious and phantom-like, the Yagaratasura appears and vanishes at will. Though we don't know much about this thief's ultimate goal, we do know the targets. The Yagaratasura likes to find and make public evidence of corrupt dealings of all sorts. The thief is always performed in silence and always with perfection. Once a target is chosen, no dramatic calling card or announcements is sent forth. Instead, the chosen corporation is infiltrated without even the target noticing. Some days later, the evidence that was found is sent out to the mass media, along with this single card. Although it has been a while since the Yatagarasu's last appearance. Hey, Mr. Edward, look, something's written on the back. What? Let me see. It says location of where the thief put the stolen files. So the person who stole the contents of the files was the Yatakarasu. I will fail to every single time say this. Why is it so much? That's a memorization. Quite a few key words are popping up in this mystery. The murder in my office. The return of the great thief. The Yatakas. I'm just gonna say Yata, okay? Everyone, when this word comes ever again, I'm just gonna say Yata. Looking back, I can say I didn't see these events coming, for they were heralded by the incidents that began 2 days ago. The end! We finished! Cakes 1! That's amazing! Save progress, yes. Just gonna save this. Completed. So, the next episode will be Turnabout Airlines. And then we are going to enjoy that as well. And I'll see you guys there and then. And I will be posting this weekly. I'm trying to post this weekly. So if you see this episode come, so then next week the other episode is gonna air. And then, yeah, the following week after that. So every week I'm gonna be posting one episode. So this is gonna be a 10-week prior episode case because there are 10 cases in total. So then I am trying to do 10 episodes each. So I'll see you guys on the next episode. Bye!